and be able to moderate and participate and also learn in this event. So if you find any mistakes or something wrong, just let us know. Don't be shy. This is the first time for me for this one of the events from PMI, but I'm really looking forward to support you guys the best as I can. In the meantime, whoever joined us from anywhere in the world, please share your flag where you're from and let me know, at least a thumbs up if you hear us and see us. Okay, and maybe we can do the same. So I'm joining you guys from North Macedonia, and here's 5 p.m. It's a wonderful time to be with you today.
Great, fantastic. Congratulations for our team and all volunteers here. That's fantastic working and fantastic opportunity for you. And thank you very much for everybody that's here. It's a great time. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Henrique. And anyone else, guys, feel free to interrupt or yeah, share any ideas you have while we're waiting for a minute or two. So we have people from Zambia, from Mexico, from Argentina. That's fantastic. Do we have someone from Europe as well, or from India, Asia, New Zealand, Australia, and so on? I see the number is rising. That's fantastic. We have 20 people on the call already. Hello, Joyce. And welcome. Tell us, what time is it now in Dubai?
It's 7 o'clock in the evening. Thank you.
That's nice. So do you guys want to keep one more minute or already give it a go at 05 maybe?
Yes, 05.
Okay. Hey Marisa, thank you for joining us. How is it in Madrid? Let us know. Is it becoming crazy warm? She says yes. Okay. Right. So I will go slowly for sharing screen, and please let me know if you will be able to see the screen and everything in a good way. So give me a moment. And let me try to go for the presentation. And let me know if you can see the presentation already. Just give a yes as I am focusing on the presentation.
I can see. Yep.
Thank you very much. I think this is Mariana. So let's give it a start to our event today. As we know, we are going to roll out critical, interesting information regarding negotiations for project managers, and I would say even for other roles as well. The idea for today's workshop is to bounce from here to a video example where you can see how a role play looks like, and from here move forward to a more realistic part with actual try for an exercise with negotiations. And with this, we will have help with Lebo and also our guest Henrique. So let's give it a slow start from here. Before we move to the agenda, I would like to thank a couple of the chapters who are main contributors and organizers for today's event, starting from PMI chapter Ljubljana, Ecuador, Mexico, Peru, Chile, and República Dominicana. So big thanks to all of them. And let's slide gently to our sponsors for today. This is the Holistic CPMS Masterminds supporter of today's event, who are supporting the social marketing of our event today. So let's give it a go if you're with us today. And also we have a representative from Silver Quality Consulting. So just back to you guys for a second.
Elaine Jackson joined us from Holistic PMC. You can unmute and say hello to us.
Good afternoon, everybody. Elaine here in Massachusetts from Holistic Project Management Consulting. It's my pleasure to be here, and I'm hoping to add value. You guys are doing such great stuff. Sorry I missed some of your meetings, but I'm here today.
Thank you for being with us today, Len, and it's lovely to have your support for this event today. And also, I know that we have someone from Silver Quality Consulting, and Mariana, if you can invite as well for
our dearest colleague, Wendy Plata, please.
Hello, everyone. Greetings from Guayaquil, Ecuador. We are so happy to be here. First of all, for being part of this great team of negotiation of project managers. I feel so happy. Thank you for having me in the team. And of course, it's a pleasure to be a media sponsor through Silver Quality Consulting. This is a startup located in Ecuador, but we work around the world. And our firm is specialized in educating business of individuals and project management, data analysis, quality and productivity for continuous improvement. And we adopting new technologies like quantum computing and artificial intelligence. We are here to assist you in becoming more productive and efficient. Thank you so much for being here and enjoy this great event with great people. Thank you.
Thank you very
Ariane.
much. And thank you very much, Wendy. And it's lovely to have you around and be with us and also supporting today's event. Just a word for Agile Balkans is a consulting that I have been creating a couple of years ago, and we are trying to achieve Agile maturity for people around the Balkans, but also we're working with groups globally and supporting people to advance their career in the sphere of business agility, especially enterprise agility. And we're hoping that we're doing simply a change in people's perspectives, a change in people's ideas, how to improve the way they're leading teams, the way they're working with other people around the world, and so on. So if you have any questions back, please go back to our guys from organizers, from PMI different chapters, for anyone, especially from Holistic CPMS or from Silver Quality, and they will be able to help you out for the options that these two companies offer. Of course, for Agile Balkans, you can always reach out back to me, but I want to bring now back the focus to what is the main focus for today's event. So we already did the introductions, and now we would like to move into watching the negotiations video, which is a role play. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat, but also check back with Mariana or Robinson or myself, and let's see how this one goes. But also I would kindly ask you, as I will switch from the presentation to the video, just let me know if you can hear and see the video well. And from here we can move to this part, and I will go for sharing video, and just let me know if you can hear and see well with the thumbs up.
No sound. No sound.
You cannot hear?
No.
How about the rest of the guys? Can you hear the video?
Maybe you can try sharing a video when you have the video on full screen.
Okay, let's give it another try.
And I noticed that you are playing it from the drive. Maybe it's better if you play it from the laptop.
let me give it another try. And like this as well, I don't think we'll have enough time to download it right now. So let me give another try. Or if someone else can also share the video, that would be great. But let me give another try. Can you hear now?
No,
Yes.
not yet.
Yes.
No. This is exciting moment. Yeah,
When-
this is exciting moment. Yeah.
So
When you share
this is
the-
the time when we can study body language because we don't hear
Yeah.
anything.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I would kindly ask
Irina,
for.
when you share your screen,
Mhm.
also share the audio.
Yeah. So, Irina, I
Just to
have the video.
reshare, and then share, including the audio.
Yeah, this is the real life event, and Misael is going to help us. I think so, Misael. You are going to, yeah. And I would like to know from 1 to 10, how willing are you to listen and watch the video? Share in the chat from 1 to 10. From 1 to 10, please share in the chat. I share 10. Yeah. So do I, Marjana. This is the expectation, live event and everything is happening. Yeah, everything is happening. Yeah, Elaine, yeah, I can see your 10. I can see your 10. Awesome. Someone else? I saw people, Irene, from Ecuador, from Peru, Europe. Yeah, we need more 10s. Yeah,
Okay, guys.
plenty of 10s.
Let me play the video from my laptop. Please let me know if you hear it.
Oh, hi, Joe. How are you?
Lebo, it's been a long time since we've talked. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Oh, good to see you. How's your family?
and-
Everything going okay?
Well, we've been quite
Okay, can you tell me if you can hear the video?
Yes. Go ahead, Misael.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
cool.
working.
So let me play it, okay? And take a listen, please.
Oh, hi, Joe. How are you?
Lebo, it's been a long time since we've talked. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Oh, good to see you. How's your family?
and-
Everything going okay?
Well, we've been quite hectic lately trying to make sure that we deliver on that project recently. We had a new hire which came in, and I've been also taking them along, as well as our Cloudera service platform, which also needed an upgrade. So we have been quite hectic lately. So please don't be surprised if you see some emails in the wrong hours of the day.
I know you're working hard. Your team's been working hard. I'm glad to see everything's going well. How can I help you today?
Oh yeah, sure. I decided to set up this session just to meet up with you and have a discussion pertaining to my concerns regarding the effort which I've been putting into my work over the past 2 years. I've been in the organization, and I realized that I haven't had a raise, but I thought, let me have a discussion first with yourself and see how best we can review my current salary per se.
Oh, okay. So can tell me that again. What are you looking for? What are you looking to do?
Oh, well, I wouldn't put a figure per se at this stage, but I would review my work that I've been doing. You will notice that as we look at our various projects that I've been working on and looking at the various KPIs, I'll give you example of the first one, the timely delivery of our projects. That has been quite clear. Out of the last 10 projects that I've been working on with my teams, you will realize that 80% of that we have been hitting well ahead of time, and the client has been acknowledging it. You would see it also in the various acknowledgement emails from our client. And the last two, we had a bit of a snippish here and one project overran, but the other one, we were just fine. We really kind of like broke it on time. That meant quite a lot of effort from my side as the project lead and project manager in pulling up the team together. Not just about delivering it on time. We also looked at the concept of the budget associated with each project. And you would find that we have tried together with the team to make sure that we stay within the budget and not to have our budget overruns. So all those factors there and the effort, you can see it from the effort and how the client is happy. The most recent project that we did, that upgrade for our EPA system, it went very well and the client was quite impressed, and we delivered it in such a quick, short period of time. And I thought, well, as you noticed, the rate which I came in at is still the same rate that I'm going at this point in time. Then I said, no, I think it's high time I have a call with you and let's have a discussion around this so that we can see how you can be able to review my salary.
So so make sure I'm clear, you don't feel like you're being paid enough, is that right? Is that what I'm trying to understand?
Well, to say paid enough is not quite right, but you will notice that obviously there's been the pricing, the cost of living, and the cost of goods in general has always been increasing. And I'm talking of a period of 24 months here, 2-year period, which I've not had a raise. So I thought probably now it is the time we should be reviewing my package and considering a raise. I'm quite keen, obviously, to be in the organization, as you can see.
Yes, I wasn't prepared for this kind of conversation, but it's fair. I'm glad we're talking about it. I have to go back and review the salary, but I believe everybody got salary increases every year. Are you looking for something outside the range that we're in? Is that what I'm hearing? Because of inflation issues? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I would like to say outside the range. I would want to say something that is commensurate, looking at also the qualifications and certifications that I've gained over the past 24 months. Apart, when I joined the organization, I was having my undergraduate degree. And now I've just recently acquired my master's. And not only that, I've also over the period attained my professional project management certification, as well as the business analysis certification, which two certifications that are very vital in collaboration, running projects, and coordinating your teams. And that also, I feel it has made me more valuable. And it could be the high time we review and probably consider a raise.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Now, how does that translate into the results? Has the project become more profitable? And, some of your team members, we lost a couple people on the project, so we've had some turnover. So, I'm having a little difficulty in a couple different areas. How has the project become more profitable for us? And, I understand the client, you said 80%, you're getting 80% of on-time deliverables, but we're looking at 100%. 80% is nice, but we need to have things at around 80%. When we do this salary, when we look at salaries, we look at the entire salary range, and we have ranges. And while you got your master's, congratulations, by the way. I know that's not easy to do. I'm more about results. I want to see, number one, either the project scope has increased or the project costs have been reduced so that we can get more profit. I don't like to see any turnover, but I understand sometimes people find other positions, and I'd like to know what you're doing more around the turnover so we can stop that, because when we have turnover, we have to spend an inordinate amount of time training people to get them ramped up.
Mm-hmm.
So have you thought about how you can get the project to making sure you're hitting 100% deliverables and how you can reduce the cost, and if there's any scope increases so that you can change the scope so that we have more follow-on business. If you did something along those lines, I'd be really interested in seeing what else we could do.
Yes, like I said at the beginning, I have given you an illustration of the last 10 projects that have been active, with the most recent one for the ERP upgrade. So of those 10 projects, 8 of them, we have delivered them under schedule or within time. Actually, we did not even reach the pre-planned time. We delivered them much earlier than the scheduled time. So in that itself, that is quite a high achievement, and it meets our deliverables 100%.
So those other, let me make sure I understand what you're saying. You said on those other 10 projects that you've been working that are ERP based, you beat the forecast in terms of when it was supposed to be due. Is that accurate? Is that what you're saying? 80% of the time?
Yes. Remember, the project, when we run it, the client expects us to deliver it on time. Right. The ERP is just the most recent project, which I'm giving you out of the last 10 projects that have been running.
Remind me, were those fixed price or were those time and material projects?
Fixed price.
They were fixed price. Okay.
Yes.
So we got them done, but they were fixed price and we got them done sooner. So there was more profitability.
Exactly the point.
Yeah, I wish you would have said that earlier, because that would have helped me frame it a little bit to understand. But the thing is that I expect us all to deliver and work towards that aspect. I'm going to have to look at your salary in terms of the band, where you are commensurate with everyone else, because I don't want this would be outside the norm of making some sort of salary increase. I also would have to go check with HR to make sure that we're following their policy and guidelines to look at something. I need some time to look at it, and but I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes. Does that make sense? Do you have that?
Well, I hear you. Like, it's a conversation we are taking, and I thought it's time we should have this discussion. And it's always best to consider my growth within the organization, and I would want to keep in the organization as well. So absolutely, you can have the opportunity to make the necessary consultations, and I'll be waiting to hear your feedback on that.
Yeah, and remind me, we paid you bonuses last year. We gave you a pretty good bonus, did we not?
Oh yes, but then for me, having been a recent entry into the organization, I was not qualified for that bonus, so I did not get the bonus myself.
Oh, you did not get the bonus. All right, let me see what we can do about it. And let me talk to HR. And again, I'm not saying no. I need to take a look at the profitability of those projects, and then also understand the bell curve. We've got those bell curves in HR that they like to look at. Is there anything else that, if we can't do something, is there something else that, have you thought about anything different?
No, at this point in time, I thought, well, let's have this conversation first. Then depending on how it goes and how you will give me the feedback, then we'll consider it from there. But my first preference is to stay in the organization and to continue delivering on the new projects ahead.
All right, let me check and let me get back to you. It's going to be probably a couple days before I do. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right. Well, Lebo,
I'll just wait on for you until I get the feedback.
All right, well, very good. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Lebo.
Great. Thanks, Joe. It much appreciated.
Nice seeing you. Take care.
Great. Thank you. Bye.
So wow, this was a hell of a video. So interesting. So how to say, challenging from different perspectives. Thank you very much, Ms. Alf, for covering me on the video part. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't handle this part really well. But then back to our test, back to our conversation. And let me try sharing the screen again. And just a quick view to our, of course, agenda. And let me know if you can see the presentation now. Yes.
Irina,
Just a voice, yes, super. So
Irina, sorry. Sorry to interrupt you, but we have a dynamic in the chat. What team are you, friends? Joe or Lebo? Yeah, try to share in the chat.
That's fantastic.
What about this? What do you think, Irina?
So if you ask me, I would simply join Lebo, but let's see what the other guys think.
Yes, to share. Ask them to share in the chat. We encourage them to participate in the chat, to interact with can you see Lucy Ellis is Lebo team, for example, Marjana Lebo team, Enrique, yeah. We can share in the chat.
Guys, let us know from which team side you are, and what would your biggest interest be to get interesting feedback from Enrique.
Yes, fantastic. No, great video. First part of this is very interesting to see the negotiation, the process of negotiation, and the change, the feeling changing during the negotiation. It's very interesting to think about, no? It's very important, many other details about one negotiation to discover much more about the other side, what the requests or expectations of the other side. It's important for to make a good negotiation. But enter in details of the movements. The first part, you can see the joy body movement that is not so strong at the start. Probably that he is a little nervous. It's common for this situation. He was asking, one situation, talking to request something that you don't know what the reaction of the other side. In some moment, you stay a little nervous, and it's common that you don't do too much movement. You're very, how can I say, thinking and the movements, what you're saying, and that you are nervous. After the first moment, you can see that the label start to use more the hands and say hands together. It's trying to get this connection. It create this environment of this to make a deal, to make a connection with the good for both. The concept of win-win. It's very interesting when try to do this. Label trying to make it, and the other side, you can see when Joey put the hands on the head. Normally, it's showing that he's thinking how can offer something a good argument, and in some moment you can identify that maybe they create one expectation of this discussion and try to offer some argument or something that you can confirm what they're trying to say, that in some moment he's in doubt about it, you know. After you can see this process of the label trying to offer a new situations, and you feeling that Lebo is more, how can I say, discontrate, how say, not nervous. It's a little take it easy and just trying that is more comfortable with this negotiation after the first or second comments of the Joey. They trying to make it a good conversation. Joey, open hands too. You see one moment that they try to make it, and it's like a hug, trying to make one hug and try to make showing that it's understand, like to say, okay, come back, that's stay with me. That is trying to, I understood your point, and try to say that I integrate you like a hug. You can see this when they make this process, no? After you can see that's Joey, there's one moment that they trying to force one idea, and that's this stop to movement, that's just trying to think in what it's better to say. And one moment they try to see to the top. I don't know if you've seen that they're trying to find arguments and they think, okay, what I was saying, that's they trying to find another elements for to include on the conversation to try to get a better argument to offer a label, no? After you can see that they use these hands a moment to force the arguments that you put more strong on it. And when they say not saying yes or not saying not, I don't know if everybody's seen that they are put that the mouth that's maybe it's trying to think, and that's it's not comfortable for him to talk it, and they're showing it when they say they're trying something like it, because they are worried about that. They how can I say this, word with the response, that's the feedback that you receive from Lebo, then trying to make it one way that can be better, no? And after you see many moments that Joey close to the camera. This is one movement that say, okay, I am close of you, I'm trying to understand your point, and this make one a good connection, because if you stay outside, it's worse to feeling this is connected. This is one point that you can see Joy work too much more about it. In many moments they try to enter, it's connected more on the camera, and Lebo not to use too much it, but it's one good point to make this connection more personal. And this, in many moments, creates one impact on the other side. Joy use this very well to create this environment. Of course, that they don't accept the request of Lebo, try to offer feedback or something like it. But it's very interesting to see this, to see these movements and on the negotiation. And when you can feel that when we start the negotiation, the first movements of the Joy, you can feel that they will not accept the request. Then it's a good way to find one get out of XT. It's an honor XT on these situations. And in some moment you can use this to make another movement. That is interesting because when you talk, and you can read on the bar movements what the other part is thinking, and in some moment you can anticipate the next on this way. If you feel in the movements of Joy, he will, the first moment that he's not interested to accept the request of Lebo. And if you check in details of the movements of the bar movements of Joy, it's a little clear, and it's more you can understood. Maybe Lebo can talk something that can change. Maybe Lebo can say, okay, I will get out of the company, I have one other opportunity. I don't know, maybe it can happen something that change the negotiation. But you can see the bar movement of what Joy was thinking about the conversation, and you can use this for the part of negotiation. I believe that's the main point. What I'm doing here is to talking that's how can use the bar movement on the process. I hope that I can offer some ideas, and I hope I open if that someone has another idea, another impression, other perception about it. Thank you for the opportunity to stay here, and congratulations for the video and all content on the session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Henrique. That's lovely. We got so much feedback, so much input about the video on overall body language on two sides of the conversation. So guys, please come back to the chat or come back directly, give your input, or thank you, Ananya. And thank you very much, everyone who is supporting and organizing the team with all your feedbacks and comments. They're really interesting and making us think before we go to the next part. So what we wanted to do for today's event, that it's actually give it a try in real example by giving the opportunity to anyone who is now with us in the room. And I would also encourage people to join with their cameras if they feel comfortable for it, or simply give their hands up if they want to join to a role play for what we've just seen on the video before. Everything that Henrique was supporting us and helping us understand better what was happening in the video. So we want to give it a try for a real example. So anyone who would like to give it a try for a role play, please show with your camera and show your voice. And we are all here, as you can see here, to support you. Yeah, who wants to role play? Very simple. And let us know, and we can move towards this part of the event today. Anyone?
I'm sorry, Irina, just one question. Does anyone want to join the discussion to comment this role play too? Everyone has their own impression of this role play, and maybe they have done it before. trying to get a raise at job, and maybe it worked, maybe it didn't work. So maybe right now we just start the debate and then we go to real negotiations.
I have
Also,
a
we
very
have
short
Robinson. Go ahead.
comment. Yes, I have a very short comment about the video between Lebo and Joe. If you noticed, Joe's welcome into the conversation was very nice. But then when he made this question, he made, how is your family? And Lebo did not pay attention because he was too focused on the talk, on his objective. That is not good, because he didn't answer the question. That was a polite question. Then, if you notice, almost in the next 10 seconds, Joe's, when he listens something that smell a salary raise, he changed his position. He changed his body language absolutely. And he looked like one of those managers of the last century. Very traditional, very autocratic, very invincible, right? That's a weak part from Lebo. A strength from Lebo is that he all the time smiled. He was friendly. He has a very open to negotiate position, and that's good. On the other part, another weak part from Lebo is that he maybe should have made a pause between each of the parts he argued, right? Like saying, yes, you're right, but, and so on, right? Not like if he was reading a script, because this is a natural negotiation. It's supposed to be spontaneous, right? So I think that Lebo's part lacked of a little bit more spontaneous chat, more insightful, more making a pause. That will be my opinion. And just to finish, do you notice from Joe had to change his body language because Lebo's opinion was becoming stronger, giving numbers, giving facts, specific facts. So Joe couldn't not resist that mandatory and strong traditional position. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robinson. Anyone wants to join for a comment back to Robinson? Don't be shy.
I think we have some great comments in the chat. So maybe we welcome to join Britt Marlowe. Maybe you can unmute and tell us what you wrote in chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everybody. This is something that I think all of us have experienced when we go to request a raise. I think that it is part of the executive's job to try to give you more because, you know, they gotta, that's part of their job. So I think it's a strategy they use. Lebo is a high performer. They're going to give him a raise most likely because, you know, Joey is even complaining about the turnover rate, but it's a strategy so that when Joe comes back and it's like, oh, you know, it was really hard, I had to go up to bat for you, then the employee is going to be more likely to accept a lower amount out of gratitude. It's very much a strategy that's used a lot. So, and the other thing I said was, I think something that's really powerful in this kind of situation is silence, letting the other person be uncomfortable a bit. So, yeah, those are my thoughts.
Thank you for your comment. And I've just noticed I have a student who was joining my groups last year. So Ismail, would you like to comment something to the conversation? It's a really interesting, appealing conversation that we have here. And Ismail is with us from Mexico as well.
Hello,
See if we
everyone.
Hello and welcome.
Have a good day and good afternoon. Well, what I saw in the negotiation is that Joey position was very hard to provide a raise for I don't remember the name. Lebo, yeah, Lebo. But I think Lebo was very strategic or strategically in the facts and numbers that he provide to try to reach that rise. It's what a very role play and very interesting for me.
Thank you very much for your feedback, Ismail. It's lovely to hear back from you. And I would definitely support Ismail's feedback and comment that Lebo was the strategist in the call from what I could see. But Henrique, please correct me if I'm wrong. Lebo was the person who was leading the whole conversation towards a possible positive end, even if it's only about him, even if it's not about Joe, right? But he was really so, how to say, thoughtful and focused on everything that was happening around him, and was trying to save the situation even for Joe, because we could realize in the video that Joe was, how to say, playing a good cop, bad cop, something that our friend Robinson mentioned in the chat. But not only that, he was trying to keep just a corporate figure of a person who is trying to understand what's going on, even if he knows right from the beginning what's going on, trying to keep the corporate view of things and even corporate feedback, not giving too much, not giving too fast, not giving too soon or too early, but still being able to keep a low level of, how to say, positive negotiations in the conversation, and still be able to keep things on his side and give himself a space and time, not only for himself, but for decision making for 100 more people, project managers who would come to him, or 10 more project managers that would go to him with the same request. So really shout out to Lebo for this kind of fantastic appeal for the whole video, for the whole conversation. It's really giving a great example. I would just go back to anyone who is with her cameras on or cameras off, who wants to give anything from maybe different perspectives.
Yes, we have Jim Coyle. Please, you can unmute now.
Yeah. One thing that is interesting, both when you're on the job or frankly negotiating for salary when you're starting a job, I do a lot of contract work, is you have to know your value. So I had somebody call me the other day and go, we'll give you this rate. And on contract rates, basically you're giving up 40% of that to taxes. So, the rate may sound good until you do what you actually have to pay as a contractor out. And I actually talked to a recruiter and they go, that's a good rate. I said, no, because I have to take 45% of that out to pay taxes. And I politely said, and frankly, you're looking for a PM with 5 years experience, and I have 25 years experience. So I'm going to pass on it, but send me the job description. I know some bright young PMs. I'm happy to share it who, are probably willing to take that rate. She just she ghosted me, didn't even bother to send the job description to me. Because frankly, I know 15 people that are here that would have probably taken the job. So, basically know your value and, your minimum range and, frankly, the upper range of what you think the job's worth. That's just my input.
Oh,
I appreciate this conference. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, James. No, just to say that it's very interesting to what Irena commented, that these positions, that you can understand the position, the power of this both position, and most to thinking that's not only one meeting, one negotiation. It's a working relationship. Then maybe they can use this first meeting for, okay, I will receive the feedback, identify some points that important for other side, and I will be prepared for the next session, because in 3 months, I don't know, that maybe in some period you try again, and that you maybe offer something different, and you understand the position, you discover more about the body movement of the other person, and you try to use it to include other strategy on the meeting. I believe that negotiation is about everything. That's not only one position, one moment, but all the interests of both sides, and how you can offer solutions and create the opportunities of win-win. Right? As you say, that's everybody wins something on the negotiation. But it's good point, and congratulations for feedbacks on the chat. It's fantastic here, and including on the conversation here. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Enrique. And
okay, Wendy is next. Wendy is next. In case you've missed her,
ahead,
she's
Wendy.
waiting for some time. Let's give her a word.
Thank you so much, Marjana and Irina. First of all, congratulations, Joe and Lebo. They did a great job, and thank you, Enrique, for your amazing feedback. We learned a lot, and we could see some point of view that maybe we missed it in the past, but now we are going to be aware about that. I would like to share a little bit the point of view of the business owners. Okay, because the business owners is a position that we need to focus on, because sometimes they fix a lot of challenge, financial challenge. Sometimes they don't have enough budget in order to do an increase. Sometimes, especially for small business. However, we have a very huge how do I say, brecha is like a gap. We have
a gap.
Gap. Yes, thank you so much. Sometimes we have a gap between a small business and great big business. Okay, and this is something that we need to consider. And something interesting that I saw is that Joe was a little bit worried about, for example, the benefit that he had offered in the past to his team. He talked about bonus, but he thought that Lebo was that Lebo had that benefit, but Lebo answered that he didn't receive that bonus. And sometimes it happens that the big boss think that employees have all the benefits and the salary is enough for them because they thought about that. But however, in the middle, there are processes that they are not communicated to the employees about the benefits, or maybe is not provided to the whole teams, or there are different conditions that employees can be the benefits for those kind of benefits, but the boss thinks that he is providing good salary and good emotional patient, for example. Thank you so much for having me in this point.
Thank you so much, Wendy, for bringing the business perspective of the conversation. It's also very important. I can also support it a little bit. Even from a small business perspective, it's always very important to do the calculations, recalculations, but also know who your best workers are. So I would give a pro and contra a little bit to the feedback, at least from my humble perspective, as you can always calculate, recalculate. For corporations, we understand it's usually a yearly budget, but for smaller businesses, you can always calculate or recalculate a little bit in a, how you call it, in a span from 2, and then decide what you want to achieve with your best performance and so on. Then I'm back to Mariana and see how we want to continue with our role play. Finally, I hope we can land this part, and let's see if someone really would like to join us. It's nothing scary. We are here to support. Don't be shy. Just give it a try. Now is the time for that. Let's see if we have someone who wants to give it a try.
So I guess we need one boss and one employee.
Exactly. We need one Lebo and one Joe, to be more precise. Someone who is, and of course it's a role play, so don't worry about anything. Even if you don't have a fantastic role play, it's still a role play and it's a trial. The more you try, the better you will become, and the more, how to say, the more experience you will collect for your own experience, for your tomorrow or next week or Monday and so on. So don't be shy. I would simply call out for Ismail if he wants to give it a try. And we spent a lot of hours together, as I don't know the other guys who are in the room, but please share, please give it a try. And the floor is yours.
Would like to hear James' negotiation there over his prompt statement he made earlier. If he can share his negotiation around that, maybe we can role play that. James, is that a bit difficult for you to run?
James,
I mean,
yeah.
Frankly, a lot of my work is contract work. And so frankly, when I'm talking to recruiters, they go, and frankly, when I talk to folks, I go, okay, what's the budget range? And they go, what's your number? I said, no, frankly, what's your number? Or what's your range? And, they'll give me a stupid number, and I'm going, come on, folks. I mean, I happen to have had the pleasure of being in a startup. So I actually know how to calculate rates. How much an hour, G&A and overhead and all that kind of stuff to keep a business going forward. Now, I don't necessarily tell them that, but I have that underlying knowledge. I'm old. So it's and one role that I worked, we changed companies 5 times in 10 years. Same job, but they just kept on bringing in, different companies. And frankly, every time we changed, we got a pay raise because the new company came in and they frankly sort of lowballed the company they replaced. And then they came in and tried to lowball all the employees. There were 27 people on the task. But the issue was in this case, it was a government contract. It was going to cost them more money to come in and replace all of us, but we had all the knowledge. So that's a strong negotiating point.
Yeah.
And frankly, the customer was more interested in keeping the team together because the learning curve was like 5 years. And everybody, you had to have a security clearance and a bunch of other things to go out and do that. So that's sort of like what I'm referring to as knowing about. But frankly, when you're talking to those folks, they're not really bringing in. They're bringing in an HR person, but they're also bringing in the PM for the project, and they go, okay, and they generally have a rough order of magnitude of what your previous rate was and what you're making, just because frankly, in those kind of things, they publish the contract and what the roles and responsibilities are, so they can go out and look at market rates. Now, frankly, government rates tend to be a little lower than corporate rates, but they give people a bump so they don't leave. So there is a cost when you're talking in negotiations, and it was referred to a little bit in the video, of training somebody back up, and frankly, it depends on how well your PM, or if you have a PMO, documents where they work, because somebody's going to have to pick that project up, or you have to bring in a new PM, train them up, which frankly impacts all of your ongoing efforts.
Absolutely.
So that's sort of, the directions we go.
So James, just to inquire further on this, especially when you do contracting work and you get your client, they already have a rate in place. And have you come across such scenarios whereby the client already gives you a rate upfront and whereby they will say now it's either that's the rate you're gonna go with, and probably you're not quite happy with that rate, and they say, well, that's the budget. How would you handle such scenario?
Yeah, well, I mean, the reality is most of those rates probably have a 10-point wiggle room in there. They just don't want to give it to you.
Mm.
So you can talk and negotiate and go, okay, folks, you know, you don't have to teach me this. And frankly, in my case, I don't need medical.
Yeah, absolutely, because you come in.
So
so obviously,
yeah, I don't need medical. So frankly, that's a negotiating point. So from a company perspective, I'm not going to take medical. So frankly, the dollars that go into that medical, I'm not really in the mood to let the company, hang on to that. They should throw it into what they're paying me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's always a point of discussion. So,
Okay.
I'm reducing their overhead a little bit, so I should be able to take advantage of that.
All right. So when you get your first contract, for example, maybe it's a 6-month contract, right? At the end of that contract, when you start your next phase, maybe the organization wants to extend your contract and you want to continue with them, would you take that also as an opportunity to renegotiate your rate?
Well, generally on the kind of work that I do, once the initial contract's set, we'll generally get 5%, 6% as you continue, depending on what the role is. But frankly, from my personal perspective, I'm one of those really weird guys that has high ethical standards. So and I don't frankly do well in micromanagement organizations. So if the role, buries into a micromanagement role, I'm going to politely start looking for work and then not accept an extension.
No, absolutely.
Sorry, that's maybe can be interesting. Sorry for the interruption, but it's a good conversation, no? But maybe it's interesting to focus on the bar movement of the negotiation that you are talking here, and maybe
Yes.
I'm very interested to see another session of this kind of negotiation, but now on the
Oh no,
on this
yeah,
situation.
and
No, what do you
frankly,
think? It can be
I'm
interesting, no?
enjoying this, but it's always interesting when you're employed trying to get a pay raise. And frankly, a lot of the contracts that I've worked historically, they're multi-year contracts. So there's a set escalation rate on the contract. And frankly, these contracts are public work. So you can go download the contract and see the escalation rate. All you have to do is do math. But in that range, somebody with less skill will get less money, and then they can take that excess
but I
money
believe
and give it to
that
other folks.
sorry for interrupting you, but maybe it's interesting to see the bar movement of two persons trying to negotiate now, and maybe you can use on the next opportunity. Try to focus on it now. Maybe it can be very interesting to see the movement here, the bar movement, and the negotiation on the previous now. Maybe it can be interesting. What do you think, Irena? Can be?
Yeah,
Thank you,
I mean,
Enrique.
it's
And thank you, James.
everything's negotiable.
Yeah, so let's see how this can work in practice. And we have Lebo and Misal here to show us how we can do this in practice. So guys, let's see how we can do a real negotiation. And I give a word back to Lebo and Misal. Thank you, guys.
Hi, everybody. I cannot promise I will win because I already know Lebo is good negotiator. So if he will play the role of the boss, he will be a tough guy. But I do see also a lot of great comments in the chat. And I have learned a lot from the video and also the feedback from Enrique and the people who have been participating. So I promise I'll do my best. Lebo, don't be so tough on this negotiation. So it is. So then I will play the role the project manager, right?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So imagine that I am a project manager working for the company for about what? 2 years, right? And the organization. And now I am approaching to Mr. Lebo, and we'll do the role play. Okay. So let me breathe. Okay, so Mr. Lebo, thank you for accepting this call. I know we have we have a lot of work and crossing communication, and I know you have been super busy, but I really thank you a lot for giving me this space to have a conversation with you about more
Sure.
what I've been doing recently and how happy I am working for the company. But also, I do really want to thank you, Joe, because Lebo, excuse me, because you have been so very supportive to our team. We have running a program, and you have been helping us on those challenges that are outside of our authority. So the team really recognized that, and that have been really helpful to us, and also overcome those challenges have made customer satisfied mainly because we are running a program, right, which is to upgrade the core network, right, to integrate the 3G, 4G, and 5G traffic over the network of the customer in around 6 countries. And this program is strategic for the customer, right? And the customer has been pushing, and every country has different requirements, different goals. But as a program, we are trying to achieve one single goal and help customer to stay ahead of the competitor. So that has been really challenging for us. But however, during this time, and also thank you for the support on that, we have been in some meetings with the customer, and you have given authority to us and empower us on make some decisions with the customer, and that has helped us to speed up a lot of even negotiations and a lot of things that sometimes depends on upper level approval. So I mean, that has been really great, Lebo. But one thing that I also would like to comment is more personal, which is, I started working in the company as a project manager, and I was band 16, right? Now, I have been given with a lot of challenges and also great opportunities, which I also thank you for that because you put me on this on this great challenge to be a program manager, and I'm taking more responsibilities. I'm taking more challenges, and I'm doing the work that a program manager, which is normally a project directors who take this kind of lead and manage even C-level conversations and communication with customers. And I have been taking those duties, and I do consider that it is a great moment, and I put on your hands to see if it is possible to have an upgrade, right? Instead of band 16, moving to the next band, which I know all the programs have been promoted to the band 17, which I consider I should be on that based on the results that we have been given as a team, but as a person and to the organization that I have been doing. So, Lebo, really thank you for listening to me, but I'm not sure. What do you think, Mr. Lebo? Is that possible?
Well, that's quite a mouthful, Misael. But anyway, thank you for sharing with me. And giving that whole background and an overlook of the project. And while we're still on that note, I clearly hear where your conversation is going, and I'm quite aware of that. However, let's try to understand the current program. You guys are busy with this one project, that's the wide area network, and it's cutting across borders between various nations.
That is true. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I must commend it. You and your team have been doing magically well. That has been awesome.
Thank you.
I must say that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And a big up to the rest of the team. So looking at that, I would like to try and have a bit of an understanding around our KPIs on this program. How would you evaluate that in terms of how you guys have been performing up to date? Have you been meeting your deliverables on time? How has been the budget going? Do you think you have been living or you have been always within the budget? And the resource management, how have you been running on that? If you can give me a bit of a brief in terms of your perspective around the KPIs that you can share with me, just to get a bit of an understanding of how the project is doing.
Yeah, it is, the budget has been a challenge for this program because, at the very beginning, we started with 4 countries. And thanks that we deliver quite fast, even ahead of our competitors, that helped customer to put the proof of concept for 5G in other 2 countries. So we have some budget constraints. We even put more money than it was planned at the beginning. But given the fact that it was strategic to also win a market share in 2 more countries, that helped not only the customer, but also the organization. Our company has now implemented all our technology in 2 more countries, which today are being tested, and we have a potential high increased revenue for that. So at this point, budget constraints, yes, we have budget constraints. Our budget has been even we have overrun the project. In terms of resources, that has been also a quite challenge because in the other 2 countries, we have lack of resources and with the required skills. And, we have to spend even more or allocate more budget in order to fulfill the requirements and put that proof of concept in those 2 countries. So, yeah, those are basically, I will say, if you want to see the KPIs or how we measure our my job that I have been doing is, okay, yes, we have built great communication and good relationship with customer for one side, which is pretty good for everyone. And the second one, it is the given the fact that we are growing in other markets. And that is good for one side. Customer is going ahead of the competitors. They are meeting their goals, their targets. And for our organizations, we are also bringing more business, more revenue to the company.
Absolutely. All right. Great. Thank you for sharing all those details. And as you know, Misael, our motto here is team apart, team together, which means you came here, shall I say you are representing your entire team, or you are worrying more about Misael as an individual or as the project lead? Are you trying to negotiate for a lead, for a raise for your team as a whole, or it's just for yourself?
I would say, Lebo, it's to have some sort of discussion that goes deeper and further than this, because my view is first we should allocate some budget to compensate the team. Even if the company, because we can put in balance how much we're going to make because we're winning more market and versus what the team is doing, I think we can potentially allocate some budget for the team as a compensation, or even salary increase on those guys that are strategic to the project. Those are definitely. And the other point is, of course, I am the one who also wants to be on that list to have a fair salary adjustment based on my on the band 17.
Awesome. Perfect. Well understood. So, as you might be aware, this is all a consultative process. Yes, I have gotten your request, and let me discuss it with our CEO and see how we can respond to that. And maybe we might have to look at it to cover all team members, and then we can negotiate around what rates we will look at. Absolutely. We do acknowledge the work you guys have been doing, and it's a conversation that has been going on in the background, which we hadn't shared out with the rest of the team. So perfect. Probably it was good timing that we come up now about it. But anyway, let's finish the discussions internally, and we'll come back with some feedback on that one, Michelle. Thanks for coming forward.
Thank you for being supportive and open to us. And let's have I look forward to have a second conversation with you. And I am positive. I'm sure we'll have great things coming. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Lebo. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Our goal here is to deliver for the organization, and we need to do that. Like you guys have already been doing it, so certainly we would want to continue with that track of work. So yeah, we'll continue. Thank you very much, and have a great day, Feda.
Thank you. Thank you, Lebo. Bye bye.
Congratulations. It was a fantastic role play. Thank you very much, Miss Alan, Livia. Guys, you charmed us, and you enchanted us really from the bottom of my heart. And let's go now for an open conversation, for a discussion. What do you guys think about this role play? It was a great role play coming from all the chats and perspectives that a couple of guys already shared with us and with us together. Also, let's give it a shout out to Henrique, as we're still expecting some more feedback from him, some more understanding of this second example. And I don't want to speak too much, guys. The floor is yours, and back to you, Henrique.
Oh, congratulations! That I see many comments on chat. I believe that many persons started to think in another way. It's very interesting to see this, and it's very interesting because Misael started a little nervous. That's starting to organize the thing, and that is to enter, but put a good energy for it. That you see the energy on your hands, in your as you're talking, and that you use it close off the camera to showing that is very interesting on the point. But it's doing a large introduction. And in some moment, I think that lost a little Lebo, because if you see Lebo, it started outside of the camera, but not too close of them. After when got the point, because stay interesting, showing that is interesting of the specific point, and after come back because it's the large introduction. It's the point that you need to check, because some moment you can stop, ask for something to come back, and you go ahead. But it's interesting because you use this to make a good platform, a good ground of the space to start to point some good points for it. In my point of view, very interesting to make it. It's a good strategy. Misael is a great negotiation. You need to say that he win on the other workshop that you did. Fantastic. I was a mentor of him. That is fantastic to see him again. And Lebo on the other side, when enter is a fantastic energy. That is good, because you should get good feedback. You put a good energy and enter close off the camera, that to make this impact. It was fantastic, as you said, because great one, good vibe, good energy for the meeting. I believe that this is very interesting, because you use this very well, and interesting because you are not showing so interesting on the meeting, and make this fantastic, because when you enter to say, you say with a good energy. That's it. Make a contrast and show that you are very interesting. Congratulations for Lebo to make it. And after that, you can see that they smile, you make the good energy, and create this environment for to great good meeting. After the budget, that is a good discussion, is a good point of great value, it's a win-win part, because in some moment you ask for one part if to get money, you need to show where you'll be the source of this money. Then you're very interested, because to create this win-win, to create this environment, create value, you need to use this another variable, that's the budget. I believe that you touch very well on the point and create the environment for it. The Misael used too much the hands to make this, to make connection, to trying to show something like it. It's interesting because create this energy for to show that we are interested on the deal. On the other side, Lebo too, it's same process to make it, and the close off the camera to maintain this, and the focus too much on connect the team and to make this good energy. I believe that is very important, especially for to use the hands to say this, and Lebo to after put too much more this, and interesting because you create this constructive process. This is this environment for the deal, the win-win. You can see this, and you feeling that's a good energy at the end of the meeting. It's very interesting because you create an environment for it, and not only to talk about the results, the position that you gain in a negotiation. In some moments, the relationship is very important. We know that in some moments it's more important to make this relationship because it's your boss, your partner, your sponsor, that it's important to focus on it, not on focus on the negotiation item, that the position that you are asking, because some moment it's good or not, but you need to take care with the relationship, especially when situations that this relationship will be necessary for the next steps, for other situations, and you need to preserve, you need to maintain a good relationship. Thank you for this opportunity to see here. Thank you for the volunteers and our participants here for this great session. It's fantastic to stay here. Thank you very much. Thank you. And congratulations for everybody.
Thank you very much, Henrique. It's so much feedback, so much valuable understanding of the second conversation. And anyone who wants to give it a try, giving a comment and providing more feedback on what we can learn from the body language, but from the conversation itself, please share with us. Thank you, Wendy, for the last comment. Exactly. Misael did, he did a fantastic report with Lebo, and while he was sketching, that was a lovely part. It's like how I also liked so much how Misael was so smart into leading the conversation into what he expected to do on the call. So leading the conversation in a positive way, and of course he was like to have Lebo in a how to say, yes, go ahead, Wendy.
Thank you so much, Irina. Yes, I was very surprised. First of all, I would like to congratulate you because you are in a live negotiation, and it's awesome to enjoy this kind of events and those kinds of scenario. I feel so happy about that, and I see your face that you are enjoying this. First of all, congratulations and thank you so much, Henrique. Your comments obviously bring a lot of knowledge for us, and thank you for your generosity to share this with us. And my point is that something that catch my attention is that Misael, even though I had a long introduction, he was preparing the ground as Robinson shared in the chat, and he prepared everything. And I remember that Lebo started in this position, and then when Misael was talking, Lebo was getting closer and closer, and then he changed, and Misael got a good rapport with Lebo, which is very important in a verbal communication and non-verbal communication. That is the point of view that we are analyzing here, the body language. And then Lebo showed great empathy with Misael. He was a good listener, and he was watching everything that was happening with Misael's request. And it was very, very interesting role play. Thank you so much for sharing, guys.
And I think I saw, thank you so much, Wendy. I think I saw a hand raised from Michal as well. For a second, you want to contribute? Just a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Heart, true heart. So, absolutely, guys. It was great, two examples, one through a video and another one having Michal and Lebo conversating in front of us live. So I hope that this is a lesson for you, that this is a great example that you can learn from. It's a great example that you can take something away from. We hope that you are already able to use some from the examples that you have seen today. You can, of course, always go back to everyone who is supporting us, especially to Henrique, who can simply detect and translate everything that you see in a picture to be better able to understand with words and to take it forward with you as a great knowledge. Thank you very much to Michal and Mariana and Wendy and everyone else that I simply forget to mention at the moment. And I still want to bring you back to the course of our event. So I will go for sharing screen for a second back again. So please stay with us. And also I want to shout out a big thanks for everyone who was keen to stay more than 1 hour with us. And let's see where we are at the moment. Also, please give me a voice one that you can still see my presentation.
Yeah.
So this is where we landed.
Yes.
Super, thank you. This is
Yes,
where we
Lorena.
landed. Thank you very much. This is where we landed 20 minutes ago, and we were able to hear and see and learn. And from here, we want to just give a little bit more information for the links that I believe are already available in our chat, but I think some of our guys will share them again. So these are the links where you can directly join our LinkedIn group. You can join negotiations for project managers, which is 2 relevant links, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Having in mind that this event is being recorded, you will also be able to see the recording if you want to go back, if you want to refresh your memory and simply refresh what you've seen and heard today here, to be able to use it in your soon negotiations, hopefully. For the videos, I'll go back to Mariana, and I know that she knows how to explain this part best. If you can
Yes,
help us.
I think that everyone who has credentials from PMI are aware that we collect PDUs in order to recertify. And to do that, you need to take this code that you see on the screen and claim it. So with this code, you will receive 2 PDUs.
That's awesome. That's a great gain for coming from this webinar. And I hope Robinson can share also the code in the chat so it's easily copyable from here. And if you have any questions towards this slide, please come back to us on the chat as well. I don't want to stay too long on only this part. So let's see what next. I don't want to also spend too much time on this part. It's just a quick information. I will also share the one link towards the next coming program for the Certified Enterprise Agility Consultant with Enterprise Agility University and myself. I have Ismail with me, and if someone wants to learn a little bit more or dive deep into the experience of our program or the value coming from it, feel free to come to me directly on LinkedIn or even have a chat with Ismail and learn from his experience. That's it, and let me go to the last part. I really, truly thank you for joining us and being with us for this hour and a half. I hope that you already taking some learning with you, and I'm looking forward to host you again and help you learn new, fantastic, relevant stuff coming from the couple of chapters with PMI globally. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm looking forward to see you soon.
I think Robinson has something to say. We don't have to go yet. We still have 5 minutes.
Yes, just give me 1 minute, please. If you notice, both Michael and Lebo are almost same generation, and but the curious thing is that both use an old tactic. Misael spoke a lot at the beginning and got somehow Lebo to be dizzy. It is a strategy to make the other part feel a little bit tired and say, okay, what is your point, right? He's opening somehow with this old strategy, a way to get an easier way to get what he wants. On the other side, Lebo used an old tactic too, which was, are you talking for yourself or are you talking for the group? He tried to split, he tried to divide, which is an old trick too. But what I'm saying is that in both strategies, there is also linked body language. Remember at the beginning, Lebo lie down, and Misael start talking and talking and talking and smiling, and in the end, Lebo did the same. Just that I just want to specify that about both participants. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robinson. I've also thank you very much for Mariana for sharing the link for the PDUs, and I hope this is already helpful for some of you who were asked for the PDU code. And thank you very much, everyone, again for being there. If, as I see, we have 3 more minutes, if someone wants to spend them wisely, please go ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead, Rina.
thank you. Thank you so much, Arina, for hosting the event today. You have been great, moderator. Yeah, the live participants, Lebo and Misael, you have been great. It was a great conversation. Yes, as everyone said, it was the initial ground was little long, but you claimed for yourself as well as for your team. That's the wonderful to put across. If anyone wants to, if any project manager wants to claim the raise for himself, it's good to claim for the team as well. Of course, serve first self and then they serve others. That also matters. Yeah, but all over, it's a good conversation. Lebo, you got our experience for both the boss as well as the employee. That's, I guess, you have a great takeaway as well in this. Enrique and Mariano, thank you so much for your time. I heard from you earlier as well. It's great to hear from you in this session as well. Thank you, for my team. All did a good job. Thank you so much. And thank you, audience. You have been very good participants, and those who spoke during the conversation before. That's wonderful for you to join in the art of negotiations. I guess someone raised their hand. Anyone would like to join in? I guess we have just 2 more minutes left, Irina. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rina. So if anyone else wants to join for the thank you part, please join us on this part. If not, looks like we're doing great with our planned time for this event. Then we are really looking forward to see you very soon. Big thanks to everyone from my side. I'm hoping that I will be able to do it better next time, as this was a first time to be joining you guys for the PMI chapter, and a really wonderful session to learn how to negotiate or how to be better when you want to do a salary raise, when you want to understand how to move forward with what you're being paid for. So thank you very much once again. I know that we always make mistakes, especially on live events, because we want to make it perfect. Making it perfect, we are trying to help you and support you grow with your lives, with your careers, with your chances in your professional life. So please join us again. We try to make better. And a big thanks and shout out to Robinson and Mariana who invited me for this event. Once again, great and big thanks to Henrique, and I'm really looking forward to learn more from you, and I hope everyone else will have the same chance to do that. Thank you again, and looking forward to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
colleagues.
Hope to
Have
see
a
you
great day.
soon. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye, guys. Love you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you. See you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye bye. See you again. See you
See
again.
you.
Bye.
They're already
Bye-bye.
negotiating there already, guys.
I think, Robinson, you can stop the recording.
Yep.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doris.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.